Hey, Tony Gasson here, popping in for a little quick message. Now, I don't have too long because I got to pick up my son from soccer camp. But I was in the bed, and it's about noon, but I'm working from the bed today, which we're going to be talking about here soon. Well, in the streams of income, you're going to learn how to work from the bed, not literally. But also this Saturday, I'm doing a virtual seminar and we're talking about goals and resetting and accountability. So make sure that you go to TonyGaskinsAcademy.com and you're going to see it said this is my year, but the course title is Mid-Year Checkup. And we're going to talk about that. Now, I'm sitting in the bed. I was setting up the virtual seminar and got the TV on. Me and my wife in the bed. She relaxing, getting ready to go to her appointment. We both got to leave at the same time. And here go the commercial. Commercial comes on, and it's a HIV medicine. It's a HIV medicine, and it's Dovato. It was another one when I was on my separation contact tracing. It was another one that came on. I can't remember its name. I shot a video on it, but I was a little too riled up, so I never posted the video. But here come the commercial. It's a HIV commercial. They got a black man on there. They got the black man on there, and he talking about, he on this medication. He's with this medication with his HIV, and then they show him with his black partner. So it's two black men, and they walking on the beach. But then they take and show a white woman, but they show her in a heterosexual relationship with her husband. And they out to dinner. Then they show look like a Hispanic man, but he's a foodie and he's single. And he doing like a dinner party. And then they show back the two black men walking on the beach, and they picking up a shell and they playing with the dog of a heterosexual couple that comes, which is a white couple. And it's like, okay, if we showing the gay lifestyle, show me a gay white couple too. Don't just make gay black. And then they got the two black men with their head leaning on each other. And then the other HIV medicine company, when they showed their commercial during the NBA, it was the Western Conference Finals. And, kids watching the show. And again, it's like HIV ain't only in gay people. So what these companies is saying is, if you gay, you most likely got it, or you more likely to have this, or most people with HIV is gay. So must be some statistics, since they painting these pictures, must be some statistics out there. So the other company, they open up too with two black men, and they at dinner, and they feeding each other and all of this. And I'm like, and then they have the black men kiss. So yeah, I'm kind of looking like, man, they at dinner, the commercial about HIV. We know what y'all are trying to imply. They at dinner. My 8-year-old is watching the basketball game. All he see is two men at dinner. He don't know what HIV is. But he see two men at dinner. Now, when y'all take and have the two black men, you could have picked white men now. White men, white people have been given marketing roles since the beginning of time. 90% of commercials are casted with white people. why when you do a commercial for HIV, you not only want to use black people, but you want to use black men, and you want to make them gay, which you know is still in a lot of cultures, in a lot of communities, is still growing, is still, people still adjusting to it, people still learning about it. It's not something, although we have this month is the whole Pride Month. The reason why the media, and see, this is an assault on the black race, it's assault on the black man. The reason why the media is taking and using black people, all of a sudden, now you want to give black people a role in a commercial. When it's two things that is questioned or looked at differently or still trying to be accepted as normal, because they know that in certain parts of the world and on certain islands that gay men, and especially gay men of color, is still being, their lives are being taken, or they're being cut off by their father or cut off by their mother. So they know it ain't fully all the way accepted. So they using black people because the blacks are the guinea pigs instead of using white people. And you got to understand, a lot of, especially white people, Hispanic, oh, that's not true. That's just coincidental. Listen, these people not being paid $80,000 a year to be coincidental. It's very intentional. They can't come out and say it. They can't say we're going to put black men in taboo roles, in the roles that are still frowned upon. And listen, this black and white alike. When you sit down with black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, and they start talking about the gay lifestyle, it's still not fully accepted amongst everybody, or a lot of people in every race may accept it and they say, okay, I get it. That's how you was born, but don't force that on my child, because my child is not ready to process relationships, is not ready to process something, the opposite of what he or she sees in their household. And so I took my kids to see Buzz Lightyear. And again, now listen, now how is this a coincidence? How is this a coincidence now? I take my kid to see Buzz Lightyear. Buzz in there with his chin, you know, hero, white man, hero, saving the day, saving the day. Buzz got a black woman, so they want to do representation. Because the lady who over the diversity now at Disney is a black woman. I saw her interview. And the lady said on the interview, oh, it's just been so fun just being able to just throw in, just, hey, I want queer here, I want queer there. She using that word now. And it's like, it's a game to her, because I think it's her daughter or her son did what, a gender reassignment or did something. And so because it's her family, because it's her household, which she don't know why her child did that. Her child could have did that because her child was alone all the time, because she working 80 hours a week, climbing the corporate ladder, and her child was alone, and her child on YouTube, being raised by YouTube. And you know what I used to see with my nieces when they was being raised by YouTube? They're looking at men who dress like women and wear makeup and do makeup. And they being raised by these men. So that don't mean that they born that way. The kids watching, they could be influenced that way. They could be raised that way because you adapt to what's normal. So in different cultures or different regions, you adapt to what's normal in any part of life. And so I'm watching Buzz Lightyear. They got the black woman. So I'm like, oh, okay, they got a black woman beside Buzz Lightyear. She's strong. She up here doing this, flying to pilot or whatever. Buzz trying to get the time warp speed or whatever he doing, so he's not aging. He aging minutes, everybody else aging years. So Buzz come back, the lady getting older and older. The first time Buzz come back, the black lady, he going to his room, she about to go in her room. So I think, and I'm like, oh, now you know me being a relationship coach. I said to myself, oh, Buzz ain't trying to touch him, no sister. Come on now. Now y'all know Buzz tried to touch that sister now. Come on now. All these interracial couples on they could have did that. But no, they ain't want to do that. They ain't want to do that. The lady say she engaged. And then she said, yeah, she's such and such, she works here or she do this and that. And then the next time Buzz come back, they show her and the lady. And then I think they show her and the lady kiss. And I'm like, now the lady I think was a white lady, I think. Or a Hispanic lady. So they showing interracial couple and they showing a lesbian couple. But they use a black woman to do it. Because this the thing. When you doing tests, when you doing social tests, or when you testing anything, what you test on? Rats, guinea pigs. You test on animals, and when you doing a media test with humans, you're going to test with who you feel is the least of those. So if you finna do a commercial with gay men kissing, who you gonna put in that role? Why not put white men in that role? I have not yet seen two white men on a commercial kiss. Why not put white men in that role? Cause they don't want, cause they know theirs finna march on the Capitol on January 6th or whatever day that was. They know theirs. If theirs don't agree with it, them backwoods, where they at, them hoods that they used to wear, then a lot of them don't wear the hoods no more. But they still believe and feel that way. And what they was against. Certain races, certain people, certain lifestyles. So when they want to test this, they want to float this out there, not all of a sudden you want to give black people the role. See, I'm paying attention to it. And now I'm understanding what people mean when they say representation matters. Because when I'm looking at the TV and I see somebody look like me, I want to see how is he being depicted. And see, the thing is, it need to be balanced because I'm raising sons. They see me with their mama. They know they came out their mama's stomach. But when my sons look at this right here, they see a black man who have chosen another lifestyle. And okay, he chose another lifestyle, but why is a company forcing this conversation on me with my 8-year-old? Why during the finals, I now got to explain to my 8-year-old who like basketball, who watching the game, why two men is kissing when he not even thinking about kissing yet. It's like, what is the point of that? It's like, and then you put it on television. I could see if it's on the commercial during BET Uncut. Y'all remember we used to watch BET Uncut? I could see if it's coming on at 11 p.m. on a school night. So when you have these men kissing, it's adults watching. But see, this the thing. They don't care about what it do to minority races to the black race. They don't care about now black mothers and fathers in the middle of the NBA finals got to be explaining to their sons and daughters what a kiss is, and why is these people on a commercial kissing. Now, what is HIV? And now, why did a man kiss a man? And it's like, listen, we got to understand as adults, that's what's out here. That's what the thing is like, okay, if you want to live that lifestyle, live that lifestyle. Live that lifestyle. But listen, that you can't force that on everybody. And just like I can't force my lifestyle on everybody. I'm married, I got a wife, I can't force that on everybody. But you can't force everything on everybody. And what these companies, we need to sign a petition. We need to start a petition. These companies need to be more responsible because they putting these on the kids. And now it is starting to explain. Because I saw Lil Boosie say, listen, how in the world Dwayne Wade's son deciding he want to be a woman? Now we see how. Because they are these kids being introduced to this choice by YouTube, people on YouTube, by companies in these commercials. And do you know, it's little kids that is out there in preschool doing stuff because of what they see their parents doing. And so this is the thing. Not everything is going to be advantageous to the next generation. And what we have to realize is that we have to, when we introducing these new things, it has to be tactfully, like relationships and lifestyle choices. You got all these different sexualities. When this stuff coming into the world, as parents, you got to be able to talk to your children on your time and explain this to them. And you got to guard their eyes and ears because you got to go to work. And so if your child is left to him or herself in the summer and you got to go to work, or they left to somebody else, and just like me and my wife was talking the other day, stop letting your children do sleepovers. Yes, people gonna get upset. Yes, they're not gonna like it. Yes, you think we're a bad family? Your son or daughter can't sleep over here? You know why we say that? Because we were watching this show on Hulu. Hulu, give me a call, give me a show on there. We were watching the show on Hulu. Can't remember what it is. If it's Killer Confessions or something like that. And on season 2, I think the last episode is a dad. He take his son's life. And the reason why he took his son's life is because his 2 sons who live with their mama but come visit him sometime went on his computer and was on his computer looking around trying to see who their daddy is. Got on the computer and found a deleted folder. Opened the folder and the daddy was on there in diapers. And then the daddy boo-boo in a diaper. Took a picture of the boo-boo in the diaper. Then the daddy ate the boo-boo out the diaper. And took a picture in a bra, in a red bra, holding the camera with a red bra with boo-boo all on his face. These the pictures. They showed it on the thing. They showed it on the show. The oldest son talked about it on the witness stand. They showed the video from the court trial. When I tell you, these boys' daddy look like your son best friend daddy. look like his daddy. Look like your son baseball team, look like the coach. Look like the school teacher. Look like the pastor. Look, this man, look, this so right. What time is it, baby? What time is it? 11:50. Okay. Okay. Look like every day, next day. And so guess what? And this man, now listen, this man work a job. This man got 2 sons, just like me. Had a wife. Look regular. See, this next generation being introduced to stuff before they ready to process it, before they ready to understand. So a child, and this the issue with what these commercials and stuff is doing, because a child who don't have a father, or a child who don't have a mother, or a child who in this household by themselves because their parents working, they look on there and they see a man and a man kissing. So to them, they say, oh, okay, you could do that. So then they go to school and the little boy kisses homeboy, his classmate. They used to just play on the playground. Now the boy go and kiss him. That's inappropriate. Children shouldn't be kissing. My son had a friend like that, my youngest son, and I had to tell him, because I ain't know what that little boy was introduced to. I say, son, listen, you never kiss anybody but your mama, your daddy, and your brother. The little boy was kissing my son. And the boy is in a single parent household. He being raised by YouTube. Not every single parent issue. Some single parents really on top of their situation. But we all know, even 2-parent households, we will let that YouTube raise these kids some days. We will let a video game raise these kids some days. And kids don't know no better. So a lot of times people be talking about born this way. No, some people are raised that way. They influenced that way. Not everybody is born that way. And a lot of times people don't even understand the influence. So a lot of times people don't even know the influence. They say, oh, as long as I can remember, I've been like that. Yes, because you're a male and your uncle was touching you, or your brother was touching you at 2 years old, at 3 years old, at 4 years old. That's why you have liked men or been into men as long as you could remember. That don't mean you was born that way. You and your male cousin was playing house at your grandma's house. So that's sometimes the case. Now, if you were born that way, I can't argue that. Because I can't tell nobody how they were born or what God was in. But what I'm saying is, if you raising children, you have to make sure that your children are educated when this stuff comes into play in their life. And at a young age now, they have, at a young age in elementary, boys dressing as girls. And at a young age. And now they have at a young age, 8 years old, boys saying, I like boys. But when you shouldn't even be in the relationships. And so this is a very real thing. And see, the issue with it is, here's the issue. And this is what gay adults have to understand. The issue is that what you understand as a gay adult, that child can't process. So when that child see this child at school, or my child, if he see a man and a woman, and he know that he come out of his mom, but then he see a man and a man kissing, but then and he want to have kids, but then he get with a man, and then he come into the knowledge at whatever age, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that him and his boyfriend cannot have a child. See, this is what gay adults don't understand about these kids. The kids a lot of times making a choice based on what they seeing adults do, and that choice don't line up with what they want. out of their life, and then they have to adapt and adjust. And so then they, do the surrogate or they do the adoption. And what I saw was one of my cousins, she had 2 kids, but her husband was beating on her. She left her husband. She started dating women. And she was the more masculine with the women. And then she raising her 2 daughters. The oldest daughter become a lesbian because she saw her mom with women her whole life. And so was that daughter born that way, or was she raised that way? Was she influenced that way, or was so you saying that the mama was born that way, and then it's a genetic thing, it's a gene in the mama that made her like women, and then it's that same gene, even though the daughter came from a man, her mama was married to a man, they had her, she had a gene in her that made her as a woman like women? Or was it because from the age of 1 or 2, she saw her mom with women? And at her age of understanding, 9, 10, 11, 12, she saw her mom hugging women, kissing women, living with women. So was she born that way, or was she raised that way? And this is a conversation that a lot of people not having. And listen, this conversation I don't like to have because of cancel culture. But as adults, we have to also take responsibility for what we portraying, the images we showing. And I've lost, clients and a lot of people who are in the gay lifestyle, just talking about it, not bashing. I don't hate nobody. I love everybody. I ain't got nothing against nobody. But at the same way, I don't want to kiss in front of my 8-year-old in a heterosexual relationship. I don't want a lesbian or a gay relationship kissing in front of my 8-year-old either. So it ain't about discrimination and all of that on because they gay. It's about what are we introducing to our children before they ready to process it. And that's why in kids' movies, there should not be kissing and relationships and all of that, because they're not thinking on that level. They should be thinking about learning how to read and write and play on the playground. But we taking as sick adults, and what you don't realize, and like what I was saying, with sleepovers, that man, if this man will put on a bra and put on a diaper, boo-boo in the diaper, and the man went on Dr. Phil, him and the woman went on Dr. Phil. It's on Hulu. I think the show is called Killer Confessions or something about, it's in documentaries or when you select the crime area. And the picture, the icon is a young white girl looking back at the camera, and I think it's a young white guy on the other half. And think about this now. If this man and his son was coming, his son wanted to hang out with his homeboys. So they showed his homeboys when they were searching for the son's body, they interviewed 2 of his homies. And so if this man will eat boo-boo, what make you think he won't put a camera in the bathroom while your son sleeping over there and taking a shower? And get out the shower, dry off, put his clothes on, and there's a camera right there up under the bathroom mirror, poking out there the wall in the AC vent up here, just out there right there. Look, what make you think that type of man that'll eat boo-boo in a bra and a diaper won't be voyeuring on your son while your son's sleeping over? And this man looked like the youth pastor. This man looked like, when he went on Dr. Phil, now in the trial, he looked a little rougher. But the man went on Dr. Phil and they showing this man, it looked like the man next door. Guess what? My sons ain't staying nowhere. They ain't nowhere. They can hang out. Like my wife said, they can stay over there till midnight. 1 o'clock in the morning. They ain't sleeping over there. Coming to get them. Because, hey, ain't nothing against you. It's just a rule across the whole board. Because you can't pick and choose. And a lot of people watching this video was at somebody else's house and got touched and can attest to this ain't no fair, this ain't no nothing just made up out the air. And so guess what? This is what's happening. When I remember it was a young guy in the 6th grade told somebody that he liked me. I was like, huh? A boy like me? No, told him later in high school, 10th, 11th grade, that he liked me in 6th grade. But when I looked into that situation, and this is what I'm trying to tell you, you got to look at this stuff. When I looked into this situation, the boy, I remember he had a mama and he had 4 sisters. So his whole conversation was with his sisters. Oh, Tony cute, Billy cute, John cute, Tom cute. So if a boy is the baby and he coming up with 4 sisters and all the sisters is doing his hair, nails, makeup, and talking about the boys they liking, who they sleeping with, you know, who they hunching, we used to call it, who touching them, and he yeah, such and such fingered me. He in all the conversation. So now his outlook on life is, when he hears his 4 sisters say Tony cute or Tony fine or John fine, he now looks at John as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old boy, and he say, oh, that's a man or that's another boy, and that is what they call fine. So that man is fine. So now this 8-year-old boy with 4 sisters, he wasn't born that way. He was raised that way. And see, but sometimes it take another choice, somebody coming in and saying, no, that's that's your sisters, but that ain't what you got to like. You know, you could like girls. You could like girls. You know, it take a dad or somebody. And I remember I had a college teammate. He became an Alpha Phi Alpha. And I said, why you join? He said, because I had 4 sisters or 3 sisters and a mom, single mom. And he said, I want a brotherhood. So he was saying, I want to be around men. I want a brotherhood, because all I was raised with was women, my grandma, my mama, and my 3 sisters. He played football, was good, and he had a girlfriend. So that was a different thing. It was like although his sisters was into guys, that didn't make him become into guys. But what I'm saying is, we have to look at these influences, because what's happening is, a lot of times people say, oh, that's just their choice, or oh, they just rape, or they're just born like that. No, a lot of times it's because of your absenteeism. A lot of times it's because the dad is gone all the time working, and that boy has no male interaction. So he's sitting with mom and he's doing nails. He doing nails, he doing hair. And I see it all the time with very busy fathers who gone all the time. Their son is with their mama all the time. So the son adopts the mannerisms of the mom. My wife is more masculine than feminine. So my son's, even with her, she very tough on them. She not one of them real. Now she pretty and she wear makeup, she do nails and all that, but she never do that with them. She don't have them sitting beside her while she putting on her makeup. She don't have them do her play with her makeup or play with her nail polish or none of that. She don't introduce them to nothing that she does as a woman. And I've noticed that it's a lot of young boys who they with their mom, and their mom has made their son their best friend. And the mom don't even realize that when you talking to this boy about nails and you showing him how to do nails and you letting him paint your nails and you teaching him about heels and you teaching him about your clothes and you done made him your best friend because you lonely, and you letting him do your hair, that you are grooming him to be feminine. You grooming him to love the things, the life the adornment of a woman. So now when he chooses to wear dresses and he chooses to wear makeup, he was not born like that. He was raised like that. And I ain't saying, and I'm explaining this, and to each their own, but I'm just explaining it to you so you understand that this deeper than being born a certain way. Some of this is programming, some of this is influence, some of this, and the thing about it, this is what you got to think about the Marvel movies. When you think about these Marvel movies and you think about this different stuff out here, what is it always trying to do? Somebody trying to save humans and somebody trying to destroy humans. So think about the adversary and what the adversary will try to do. If he could get your son to be with a man, they can't reproduce. And it ain't no guarantee they could afford a surrogate, and ain't no guarantee they can adopt. If he could get your daughter to be with a woman, they can't reproduce. So at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize is that this is not just about lifestyle choices and all of that. A lot of people don't realize the spiritual side of it. A lot of people don't understand the spiritual side of it, and pastor's not even speaking on this because they don't want to be canceled and they don't want them ties to get cut off. And then when we speak about it, we speak about it in a hateful way. But I'm saying, think about it spiritually. If everybody chooses their own sex, the human race ceases to exist. You cannot eventually you're going to run out of children to adopt if everybody is choosing or being groomed and being raised to choose their own. And it's going to be a scientist that have to come up with a way to make a baby. But then still, it's like, where do we get to where are we at when we say, as men, we want to be with men, and as women, we want to be with women, but we want to use each other body parts to have kids, but then we want to raise the kids in man on man, woman on woman households. That don't make sense. That don't compute. So how you going to take God creation and manipulate the creation and use the creation, but then do what you want to do because you've been hurt, because you've been lied to, because you've been abused, because you went through this or went through that? And that's what we coming down to. And this is a tough conversation. And so while there's a group of people who they say, listen, this is how I was born, this is all I know. For every one of those people, there's somebody else who has been influenced that way, who've been groomed that way, who've been raised that way, who've been trained that way, and they choosing that way. And that's what you got to understand, is that your sons and daughters are going to come to a place of choice, to where it ain't about how they born, it's about what their influences are, who their friends are, what they're around, and that's going to determine what they choose. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. This is a tough conversation, and I'm ready to be canceled. I got to be canceled, but you can't cancel me for speaking my truth. You can't cancel me. I ain't got no endorsement deals. I ain't got none of that. So I work for God. So, but anybody, gay podcasters, I ain't got nothing against podcasters, video content creators, internet bloggers. We can sit down and have a conversation, because I just want to talk about the choice side of it and the things that we doing in this here arena. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you. We'll talk soon.